Hello, my fellow healers. My name is Adina, and I'm that healing girl. And in this pick a card reading, we're going to be talking about the energies of the new moon in Gemini that is on today, the 26th of May, 2025. And of course, as always, this is a timeless reading. So whenever you come upon this reading, you are meant to hear it, even if it's not on today's date. And as always, please take whatever resonates with you in this reading and leave the rest behind, trusting you are exactly where you need to be right now in this moment. And here we are with our reading. We're going to start with pile number 1, and then of course there's 2 and 3. Pile number 1 has these lovely Amazonite crystal, these are all crystals of communication, because the new moon in Gemini is definitely highlighting the energies of communication, of relationships, of interconnection. And I feel like Amazonite is a very powerful crystal for opening up the throat chakra, but also for interconnecting us with our memories and with our mental faculties, and also with past life memories and past life healing, Amazonite. And then we have this lovely Sodalite crystal, which helps us to have a certain amount of mental clarity. It's almost like fluorite energy in that it gives us clarity, or quartz energy, but it's a little bit different because it's a bit gentler and it's a bit more focused on how we can basically organize our thoughts, our rational mind, and basically get our ish together mentally. So that we can organize not only our thoughts, but also our motivations, right? Once we have our thoughts in order and things become clear, we can start to move ahead with more of a focused determination. And then we have Lapis Lazuli, which is for the throat chakra, but also for the third eye, and for opening up our spiritual centers. And so let's see what we have. I'm very excited about our reading today with this new moon in Gemini. And of course, new moons are about the energy of newness, of breathing freshness into things. And we're still in the season of spring, moving into early summer. And this energy of renewal and of basically refreshing our whole entire body, our energy body, revitalizing our senses, revitalizing our homes, revitalizing, revamping the way that we connect to each other is very, very present and powerful right now. So without further ado, pile number 1, 2, and 3, and I will see you in the reading. Okay, pile number 1. As always, with all these crystals, feel free to check out the info box. Sometimes I usually always have little links and things that you can follow. Sometimes they're songs or messages that I've channeled, or books, or different things that I've been attracted to for each pile. And usually always have a link to a website explaining what the crystal is, and this is Amazonite, and kind of a little bit referencing back to the energies of the pile. As with always, I'm going to start with tarot first. Okay. So, 4 of Wands in reverse. Ten of Cups upright. 6 of Cups. Wheel of Fortune. Interesting, this was the back of the deck energy, and I shuffled it back into the pile. It came back out. I had a feeling it was going to come back out into a pile. The energy that I'm getting is very much what comes up must come down. And with the 6 of Cups, which has to do with having fond memories and almost even nostalgia about a time or a place. I think you're sort of longing for something that used to be. With this Four of Wands usually is about recognizing your gifts and recognizing and getting recognition for the things that you have done in your life and for your accomplishments. And maybe it's a time for you to remember that, because whatever happened recently, maybe you were going after something and it did not necessarily end the way you wanted to. For some of you, this is a job. For others of you, this is a person or a relationship. Like you wanted to get your happy ending with this Ten of Cups energy. You wanted to, I think it's for some of you, it's a job or a financial endeavor, because the happy ending that you wanted to get is referencing the stability that you were wanting to build for you and your family and the people that you care about. For others of you, this was an actual relationship that you were trying to build to get your happy ending. To get your happy ending, because at some point, some of you, this is coming through for some of you, you were in a really good relationship and it fell apart. And then you found this other person, you thought that they could be the one to sort of give you your happy ending. And what I'm getting from this is that these are the ups and downs of life. In other words, we are happy at times and full of joy, and other times we're full of despair, and other times everything in between. The Wheel of Fortune represents all of the cycles of life, birth, death, happiness, joy, sadness, exhilaration, and despair. And we're usually in some flux of that wheel cycle of life. And the beauty of life and the lesson of that beauty is learning how to function and how to appreciate all of the cycles, even the cycles that are uncomfortable. And right now your soul is picking up it's learning these lessons, it's picking up these lessons on purpose, even though some of them might be painful. And right now you are in a deep sort of nostalgia for how things were, either in the past relationship or this one that might have just fallen apart. And that's okay, because you're learning and you're growing from these situations. And you're going to find that this is not about, in your lifetime, it's not necessarily about the ending goal, but more so about the journey. And that's not to say that you can't have happiness again. In fact, that is the whole point of the Wheel of Fortune card. It's recognizing that the need for us to live in the present moment, when we're feeling our joy, when we're surrounded by moments where we're happy and fulfilled, to be present there, to appreciate that, knowing that there is going to be moments of darkness, despair, and depth for all of us in our lives. And I think that the new moon is going to teach you how to have acceptance around these issues and how to have balance around it. How not to dive into despair or completely jump so far into exaltation that you sort of forget everything around you. That's what happens sometimes when we fall in love. And it's not a bad thing at all. Or when we get absorbed in a project or a thing, we sometimes forget about the people around us that need our care, assistance, and our help, and that need us to be present in their lives. And this can happen if we're falling in love, or it can happen if we're like going after a financial goal, for instance, right? Some people that fall in love, their friendships suffer. Some people that are going after a goal, a financial goal, even though they're doing it to help their family, those very people that they're trying to help, ironically, sometimes suffer from them not being around while they're trying to get the stability. So the Wheel of Fortune is about balance, and it's about learning to accept the different phases of life. And with this new moon energy, it's helping you to learn lessons around that. Yeah. Some of the lessons are unpleasant and some of them are not. And and the Wheel of Fortune energy is asking us, how do we find joy in every aspect of our lives? Yeah. How do we find appreciation for all the cycles we find ourselves in? And I think some of you, this has to do not only with, for a very small number of you, this has to do with the cycles of aging and moving out of youth and into maturity, the richness of of basically aging well, the richness and fullness of looking at your wrinkles and dings and areas where you used to be maybe a little bit more trim that have now filled out into rounded loveliness. You know, these types of things as well, sort of reflecting on these things. That's what I'm getting from you. The new moon energy is helping you to find a place of acceptance for not only joy and sadness, but for what you might consider to be weakness or flaws that come with aging for a few of you too. Oh, Healer of Ages, yeah. You're also working on healing wounds that happened to you in the past as well. And some of these relationships or things that are newer that are coming up are helping you to come to terms. These people that are coming to your life, they're helping you to come to terms with past injuries, past psychological and emotional injuries that hurt deeply. You are learning to be your own healer, pile number 1. Let's see. Cardamom. It's their fault. That's a trigger statement. The true statement is, my thoughts are the cause of my suffering. As emotions rise, go within to see what stories and memories are fueling them. Release what is not serving you with gratitude. Yeah, and some of you are learning that the way you're thinking about certain situations might be the issue. And that is also the lesson of the Wheel of Fortune as well. The lesson of the Wheel of Fortune is, how do we accept what we can change and learn from what we can't, right? How do we work with what we can change and accept what we can't? How do we have grace around the times of darkness and the times of light, the dark nights of the soul and the times where we're in the sunshine? Let's see, clearing, yeah. Deal. None of this matters. Trigger statement. The true statement is, I am clear. Feel as if any external energy is clear from you and your space, and you're energetically pure and can focus on the task at hand. And what is the task at hand? Look at where you are in the cycle and find out, what is the task at hand for you. Let's say you have just come out of a relationship, and the task at hand would be for you to then sort of ground yourself, right? Sort of figure out, where am I? Who am I now? Who am I without this person? And then get your bearings so that you can move forward. If it is now a job that is gone, you know, maybe there's some planning you can do. But also, don't forget to give yourself those moments to just catch your bearings. And I feel that that's what the new moon in Gemini is going to give you an ability to do. It's going to give you an ability to essentially communicate deeply with yourself and to ask yourself, where am I at in the process? And what does this feel like for me? And what are the aspects of this that I can accept? And what are the aspects of this that are for my healing on a soul level? How can I work with these energies? Some of them that might be harsh and sad. And how can I accept these emotions and process them and use them as fuel in order to get a more learning experience from this, rather than a tragic experience? Yeah, that's what I'm getting, pile number 1. It's a very deep, soul-searching journey for you at this new moon in Gemini energy. And yeah, that's what I have for you today. I hope that this resonates with you. If it did, please like, subscribe, and comment below with a moon emoji or a blue heart emoji. And I will see you in the next one. Happy healing, pile number 1. Okay, pile number 2 with the Sodalite crystal. Let's see what's in store for you. Pile number 1 had a very intense energy. I don't know why that's coming up. Pile number 1 again. Maybe pile number 1 and pile number 2 are synergistic in some way. Let's see. Son of Pentacles, which is the Knight of Pentacles. Knight of Swords. The High Priestess. Yeah. I feel like pile number 1 and pile number 2 might be a trial. Maybe you were hovering between each pile because you weren't quite sure which one to pick. Both of these piles have a deep thought energy. The Hermit in reverse, yeah. With the Hermit in reverse, you are trying to, I get like this image of you trying to hide from the necessary tasks that you've had to do. You've spent a lot of time in this Hermit energy, and now it's becoming like a crutch where you're like not wanting to venture out into the world. Some of you might have become stuck in the hermit sort of paradigm or energy during the pandemic. So this is like a few years, and now you're having a hard time venturing out and exploring humanity and connecting with human beings because you got comfortable. Essentially, you're like, I'm in my own little space. Why do I need to move about the cabin? Like it's like you're in the airplane, and the captain says, "Okay, now you can move about the cabin freely," but you're still in your chair, despite the fact that you're hungry, thirsty, and you might have to go to the bathroom. Like there's very much needs that need to be met that can only be met by you connecting with humanity again, but this scares you. With the High Priestess energy, you want to figure out why that is. I see this ball here, and I think that represents crystal energy. That also represents soul searching. That also represents meditating, maybe holding crystals. And with this quarter moon, maybe it's going to come towards the quarter moon, some more revelation. The new moon, of course, comes before the quarter moon, right? It's when the moon is void, almost. And so then you're having, as you move more into this quarter moon here, there's going to be light and illumination shown on issues as to why you don't want to re-enter society. With this Knight of Swords, I think it might be something that during the pandemic, you might have had some kind of issues that were like conflicts with people, family members, people that you could avoid by being sequestered in quarantine. But now those family members and our friends are like inviting you over, but you have all of these issues with them that need to be sorted out, and you don't want to do it. Yeah. With this Knight of Pentacles. Some of you are very comfortable. Again, it's not like you are needing anything physically, right? I feel like you're very, very comfortable physically, and you're very, very comfortable financially. But at the same time, it's not allowing you to grow. Yeah. And with this Pentacles can also be a sign of health. And I think that this is affecting your mental health. Yeah, it's affecting your mental health, pile number 2. Yeah, and you were with this also with this Son of Pentacles or Knight of Pentacles. You're trying to keep yourself safe, and that's not really the way to go about it. Like the the parameters that the pandemic called upon were there to keep us safe in the moment, and now we've moved beyond that. I'm getting some of you might also be slightly agoraphobic. And with this Knight of Swords, it's asking you to cut through that, and also to like don't shoot the messenger. I mean, I feel like maybe I'm one messenger of many, but maybe other people have been telling you this too. And now it's time for you to get out and about, move around. Yeah. And a lot of you are afraid that, especially with the way that the outcome of election has, and how it mirrored how things were somewhat politically during the pandemic, with the administration being the same administration. Maybe you also have family members and friends who you are going to have to put your sort of sword in the sand. And, you're against this current administration, and you have people that are for it. And then that means you have to put your sword in the sand and just kind of really state where you stand with them. Not beating around the bush, and that might cause some division. And deep down, you're afraid of the division that it might cause might be permanent. And it might be. But at the same time, you have to do what's best for you. And you can't hide anymore from confrontations with people. Yeah, that's what I'm getting. Pile number 2. Man holding a heart. Yeah. Somebody is, this is giving me like Cancer energy, Pisces energy, maybe even Scorpio energy, because Scorpio energy, even though it's really, really powerful, is one of the more powerful water signs. Deep down, they have a very, very gentle heart. And the reason why they'll sting is to protect that. So some of you have pulled further back into your, if you're crabs, you've pulled further back into your shell. If you're Pisces, you're like an aquatic creature that is like went underneath a rock or something and is hiding in the shade of the ocean. If you are a Scorpio, you have pulled your stinger back and you have ran underneath a rock again. Not all of you are water signs, but I'm getting a strong water sign vibe from this pile. Let's see what happens. Topical. Trigger statement, I'm boiling over. True statement, I allow myself to feel. Give yourself space to decompress and take time to nurture your body, mind, and spirit. Allow emotions to surface and release. Yeah. These are the emotions that you're feeling. Fear. You're feeling vulnerable. You're feeling, you don't want to express these fears and vulnerabilities to some people in your life, those closest to you. But that is precisely what you need to do. And connection is the key. Pile number 2 to your soul's healing. Experiment. Oh, yeah, conviction. Trigger statement, no one listens to me. True statement, my voice is heard. Stand strong and communicate your message. The world is ready to receive what you have to share. Yes. Don't be afraid. Don't hide. Just throw your sword in the sand and say exactly what it is that's on your mind to the people that are closest to you, to the people that you care about. And those that love you and appreciate you will stand behind you 100%. And yes, it might mean that some people will fall out of your life, unfortunately. That might happen, particularly if your convictions are quite strong, and I feel like they are. Yeah. So there's twofold things happening, pile number 2. Partially, you are afraid to connect with people who you know will not necessarily agree with your opinion. You're afraid to set your boundaries up and to really express how you feel about certain issues that you're passionate about, because it will conflict with theirs, and you don't want to conflict. You're afraid of the confrontation. And the other half is that you simply are just comfortably stuck in your own shell, in your own small world since the pandemic, and it's safer for you to stay there in the familiar than to move out into the unknown. And that is the vibe. That's the message I have for you, pile number 2. It's important that you do that, and that you trust the people that are around you to have your heart, to hold your heart, and to hold you in spaces of vulnerability, and trust that spirit will lead you to those people if they're not in your immediate circle. And that is all that I have for you. If this resonates with you, please comment, like, and subscribe below. And with a moon or a blue heart emoji. And I will see you in the next one, pile number 2. Bye. Okay, pile number 3 with this lovely Lapis Lazuli. Let's see what's in store for you. Oh, there's a little bit extra. There's always a little bit extra with pile number 3, I feel like. Not always, but often. I get more than one card. Sometimes more than 2 extras. This one has 2 extra cards. Four of Cups. 6 of Swords. Strength. You're moving out of a difficult situation. I feel like this is a difficult household situation. Father of Pentacles, upright. You're dealing somehow. You're reconciling. Healing of masculine energy, father energy. The provider is a provider. Yeah. There was a provider that was kind of paradoxically a strength for you, and also paradoxically kind of caused insecurities. Maybe they said or did things that tore you down in ways that they didn't realize. A father figure, or a mentor, or even a boss. And you're moving away from that energy. I feel like this is the inner child healing too for some. And with this 4 of Cups, you were kind of numb to it. Yeah. You were kind of, and with this, the rat here, there was a there was like a victimhood to it. And again, just like within the other readings, some of the other readings, I see this quarter moon. And I feel like from the new moon, which is dark, of course, all the way to the quarter moon, you're going to start having things illuminated, having wounds within you illuminated with this fox energy. You know, the fox energy is like a creature that sort of hides and protects itself. And so I feel like that is like the coiled inner child within you with this 6 of Swords, which means moving from one aspect to another. You are moving out of this sort of hidden energy. See this one eye open here instead of both eyes closed. You're starting to wake up to some various inner child wounds that you have. Yeah. With the 6 of Swords energy, you're moving from the threshold of being wounded and being victimized to a aspect of strength and to an aspect of vitality. You're moving from being wounded to being healed. Yeah. Yeah. And the thing in the way is, well, whoever this authority figure was, they could be a father or an uncle, or they could be a female figure that has very strong masculine energy as well. And that is the obstacle in your past, sort of the voices in your head that you are hearing from them. The voices that are telling you things like you're not good enough, or why do you always do this, or, that somehow made you feel smaller. Those are the things that you are working to get through. Yeah, let's see. Indecision. Yeah. I think this indecision is insecurity. You feel overwhelmed, like you don't know which direction to go into. But at the same time, it's not because you don't know. You do know deep down which direction you should take in your life. But these voices, these insecure voices that are coming from this old energy, this old masculine energy that undermines your confidence is the problem. And that's what you need to work through. Appreciation. Yeah, appreciation in reverse. They didn't appreciate you, whoever this person is, for who you truly are. You have a very strong core of strength within you, and Spirit is reminding you that that strength is there, and that's what got you through all these times of being put down, and that's inner strength will get you through again, and it will heal you. Contract. Some of you had a soul contract with this person, and it's time to break it now. Yeah. Yeah. Some of you had a soul contract in other lifetimes with this person. And now it's time to release those contracts. They're no longer needed. They were needed at a time for whatever reason. Maybe you thought you needed them, but you don't need them anymore. Pile number 3, Melaleuca. Evolution. Yeah. Trigger statement. Things will never change. True statement. I attract only what is for my highest good. The imbalances in relationships that have been keeping you down are no longer needed and are ready to transform. Yes. For some of you, this person is still alive. For others of you, this person passed away, but their influence is still being felt. You don't need to have this energy in your energy center anymore. Yeah. Soothing. Trigger statement, I need to fix this. True statement, I am willing to learn from this. Lift yourself above your life situation and observe. As a witness, understand that you are so much more than the story. Yes, pile number 3, you are so much more than this story, than these words that keep cycling through your head, a lot of them negative, about who you are. You know who you are. And if you don't know who you are, it's time to figure out who you are outside of these negative self-talk that is not your words. This negative self-talk is coming from these inner child wounds that you have, and it's coming from the voice of this old masculine energy voice that has been dragging you down. Yeah. It's not good for you. It's not positive. And it's just making you doubt yourself and doubt your confidence. And it's time to move on from that. It's time to release those old energies. And this new moon in Gemini is going to help you do that. It's going to help you to communicate with yourself and to communicate with the energy, the voice of the energy. You can have conversations with that energy. You can call upon your strength. And if you have spirit guides, you can call upon them and say, I need to have a conversation with this energy and have it out once and for all. Write down. A great thing for you to do would be to take a piece of paper and write down all the messages this voice in your head is telling you, to look at them, to acknowledge them as being a possibility, as being something that's there, but that doesn't necessarily have to be true. The words can be true, but they don't have to be true. You have to recognize that there's always another way of looking at a situation. And people have their own perceptions of what's best for you. That may not be what's best for you now, and it may never have been what was best for you. You get to decide that, and you get to decide the words that have impact in your life. And once you come to that conclusion, take that piece of paper and burn it, releasing all of the energies that this person had or any control that they had over you. And yeah, and that is what I'm seeing for you, pile number 3. Wow, powerful message. And it's time for you to release the power that this person had over your, and still has, over your psyche and over your mind. And that is all that I have for you. I hope that this resonated with you. If it did, please like, subscribe, and comment below with a moon or a blue heart emoji. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.